So what does make sense is a workshop for you. And it's brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Renting versus owning, which makes financial sense. That's what we're going to look at. We've got a bunch of numbers for you. And, it doesn't do us any good for me just to go through a bunch of numbers. I want to just tell you I've got a bunch of numbers. I'm going to walk you through this so that you understand exactly what we're doing, exactly what our methodology was of getting to these numbers. And I am going to tell you that sometime later today, you're going to be able to visit rsrrvo.com. rsrrvo.com. And you're going to be able to pull the presentation up. We'll have a video of me walking you through this, and you'll be able to get this sheet that I'm looking at in a very, very more readable version because it'll be larger. So what did we do? Where did we start on this? We're looking at an $800,000 home, and I did it based on 10% down. That's in column 2, and I did it with an FHA loan at about 3.5% down. That's in column 3. But we start off with, if you're looking at an $800,000 home, you're probably looking at somewhere around $3,900 in your rent. And to keep things all kosher and even, we did put in there that you've got that $3,900 rent, but you also have to figure $25 in insurance. So we try to keep everything the same all the way across. And every time when you get to looking at rsrrvo.com, when you see this button up here that says more info, that tells you can dig deeper into the numbers. So let's move right along. $3,925, that's our rent payment, rent plus our our renter's insurance. Or else we can go with an $800,000 purchase, $720,000 is the loan amount. I don't know what the interest rates will be for you. So I just threw in 6.5. I think we used a number from last week. What did we say, Josh? So today was yesterday was 6.69 was the OBMMI number. So, are we exact? No, but are we close enough to give you a demonstration? Yes. So that payment comes out to $5,730 is your all-in payment. That's your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on this property. I don't know if there's an HOA, so I didn't put one in. So yeah, you say, Ron, that's like $600 more. Is that right? $600? Well, a little bit more than that. But wait, you look at the 39. That's 16. Is that $1,600, $1,500 more, give or take? But wait, there's tax benefits when you do this. So what are the tax benefits that we look at? And by the way, I should put over here on the FHA side with 3.5% down. Again, I used a 6.87, 7.772 is the APR, and you can see on the conventional, we've got that APR in there as well. We've got that 6.876. So the payment came out on the FHA with 3.5% down at $6,509. Don't forget, our friends at Geneva Financial have a product with a down payment assistance, so you may not even have to come up with that much. So what are the tax benefits? Well, your taxes on the rent, you're going to get your standard deduction of $660. On the conventional loan, you've got a $1,478 tax benefit. And on the FHA, you're looking at a $1,632 tax benefit. Okay, so we're seeing right there, we're eating into the spread between these here. The total payments on the rent and the total payment on the conventional. And again, it's about $1,750. So we have that tax benefit is saving, what's that, about $800? But now we're going and looking at principal. Well, when you rent, you're not putting any money into principal. So you got a zero benefit. On the conventional loan, we're getting $650, almost $651 every month going toward principal. That's forced savings for you. On the FHA, $660. So now where are we at? We're looking at our net monthly payments on down here. Well, we're Net is $32.65. That would be our $39.25 less the tax benefit. Here we're looking at our $57.30 less our tax benefit. So now we're looking at about $300 a month difference, less $250, $300 a month difference. And we got a little bit bigger right there. So we're still looking okay. Now we've got our cash to close numbers. If we're going to buy, we need to come up with a little bit of money. Again, we've got our Geneva Financial benefits, so we don't have to worry as much if we don't have that money. There are options. Now let's continue with our analysis here. So we've got our payment analysis as we scroll down a little bit further. And what we did is we did put in a 5% rent increase every year. And we put in, I think we used 5.1 as our appreciation on the real estate. Why did I use 5.1? Because I looked at the 63-year rent appreciation for Riverside County, and I looked at the 63-year appreciation for Orange County, California, and I said, okay, we got 5.1 and we got 5.3. Let's use the lower number. So we put that appreciation in there, and let's take a look at things. Now, in the first 36 months, we've paid $148,000 in rent, and we brought our principal down by $25,000, almost $26,000 on the conventional loan and $26,000 on the FHA loan. That's bringing down our principal. Let's look at what our net worth does over 13 years. Why did I use 13 years? Well, the reason I picked 13 years is because that's how long, according to the National Association of Realtors, we're keeping our homes right now is 13 years. So net worth on the renter, well, you've got a bunch of rent checks. They're not worth a whole heck of a lot. Zero. You've got $966,000 in net worth on the conventional loan and $907,000 in net worth on the FHA loan. Do you see here why we say that renting versus owning, the rent loses? It's because of these numbers right here. That's the wealth growth. Now, I suggest we're going into a recession right now. As I record this, most of the economists say that we're heading toward a recession. Is that true or not? I don't know. But if we do, interest rates historically during a recession, interest rates drop and property values increase historically. So we always have that opportunity of restructuring the loans to get a lower interest rate. Do you think your landlord's going to lower the rent payment? I don't think so. Not going to happen. So keep that in mind. Now, when you lower that interest rate, there is an opportunity, depending upon when that is, to pull some cash out of the property. Why would you want to pull cash out of the property? Well, the issue there is you might be able to buy another property. Think about that concept. Buy another home. Now you have multiple properties appreciating. So let's get, Josh, do you have that infographic available? I know we're running out of time, but let's take a look at a little bit of an infographic that we have here that does show us some additional information. And when you get to this RSRRVO.com, we're going to put this infographic in there. I'm going to put a chart of home prices, what they do during a recession, and I'm going to put a chart in there of what mortgage rates do during a recession. That's going to all be in the chart. So you'll be able to see that real clear. But take a look at this infographic that you've got right here. And again, we did the same thing. Home price, $800,000, 10% down, 6.5% interest. You're looking at the savings of a tax-adjusted payment of $5,005. Yes, you do have to bring in some money to closing. But renting, you're going to see it's going to cost you a lot over rent. What is the break even of renting versus owning in this situation? Well, you're seeing that real big there and down about halfway at 2 years, 8 months. And if you need to sell, you've got that opportunity. All those things are part of the process. But I want to make sure, go visit RSRRVO.com, RSRRVO.com. We'll get this video, this workshop, put in there later today, and we'll have all the collateral, depending upon what kind of device you're looking at. If you're looking at it on a mobile device, scroll down. All the assets that I mentioned will be below. If you're looking at it on a laptop, and I think on a tablet, I think these things will all show up on the far right, the collateral on there. If you want more information, or if you want a custom scenario, RJ at ronsiegelradio.com, RJ at ronsiegelradio.com.